Negli ultimi anni lo stile dei motoscafi si è evoluto. Infatti,
In recent years, the style of speedboats has evolved. In fact, today they resemble the MAS, the military assault units from 100 years ago. It's the new trend to design hulls that are so fascinating and make the boat so beautiful to look at, even under the fender.
vista da prua,
The view from the bow seems sharp, but it's also muscular. Look at these ribs along the sides.
queste forme sono...
These shapes are futuristic.
Questo è il 900F, prodotto da DIPIÀ Boats, un cantiere...
This is the 900F, produced by DIPIÀ Boats, a yard based in the province of Genoa. It was designed by Roberto Curto, a well-known internationally renowned designer, who has won several awards and is currently engaged in the development of a new generation of yachts for a large European shipyard.
Qual è la funzione di questo prodotto? Direi la stessa di una...
What is the function of this product? I would say it's the same as a supercar, just as if you buy a Porsche. To get the best out of it, you have to race in the circuit. But on the sea, there are no limits, well, apart from safety.
Se vi piace correre in pista,
If you like to race on the track, and you also like to go off-roading, you would have to buy two different cars. But with the 900F, you can run on both smooth seas and rough seas. You will see it soon. In a Ferrari, there is not room for 5 people. Here, we can bring the whole family. Under the long foredeck, they have given space that could be used for sleeping overnight. But this is not the purpose of the compartment. It's more suited for an afternoon nap, or simply for use as a cargo hold. And in this case, the volume is really abundant. On this unit, we have two 6.2-litre Mercruiser gasoline engines, 350 horsepower. The engine feet are single propeller.
c'è un altro aspetto molto
There is another very interesting aspect. This boat is entirely made of carbon, 100%.
È una costruzione davvero speciale.
Is a truly special, rather unusual construction for a 9-metre-long pleasure boat.
Devo dirvi che le prue verticali non mi sono mai piaciute e non piacciono neanche a tutti quelli che
I must say that I've never liked vertical bows, and neither do those who know what it's like to race on the sea. They are fine for sailing boats, for low-speed vessels, but not for fast boats. Do you know why? Because they can be the cause of dangerous sudden jerking movements.
Questo succede perché se la prua si pianta nell'onda, tutta l'energia cinetica della barca...
This is because if the bow is planted in a wave, all the kinetic energy of the boat acts on the extremities, and if the boat is slightly listing or in a turn, the bow becomes the pivot around which the boat rotates. The movement, in essence, is a bit like fishtailing in the car.
Ora però su questa imbarcazione hanno risolto il problema con uno spigolo di carena molto pronunciato.
But now on this boat they have solved the problem with a very pronounced edge of the hull, also in the bow sections. The edge is that part where the hull meets the bulwark. If it is very pronounced, even there, and the water impacts it, it raises the bow, so it's out of the water. It doesn't dig in the waves.
C'è un'onda lunga abbastanza alta. Impegnerà...
The waves are long and high enough. They will surely take this boat today. In the meantime, we have begun to plane. I would say yes at 13 knots. The engines are at 1,700 revolutions per minute.
E poi c'è un altro
And then there is another secret. In effect, this is a straight vertical, but it's very short. Below, the bow is elongated, of the traditional type, like the racing hulls.
Questa prua è molto utile invece quando si procede lentamente.
This bow is very useful. However, when you go slowly over rough sea, because it opens the wave impeccably and also prevents the boat from pitching.
Oggi c'è un po' di mare e stabiliremo.
Today the sea is a bit rough, so we will be able to establish if this boat is suitable in these conditions. But in the meantime, I can tell you that, regarding the design data, it has some pretty interesting features. In fact, the angle of the transom, it's 24 degrees, that is to say, a deep V, so it crosses the waves well with this bow and even with all the other sections of the hull.
E poi hanno inclinato lo specchio dove sono attaccati I piedi pompieri.
And then the transom has an angle of 14 degrees, where the engine's feet are attached. This means that the propellers push it downwards, and with the sloping propulsion, it manages to maintain a more longitudinal attitude, almost as if it had a shaft line.
Ci sono altri due parametri interessanti per chi ama le barche sportive.
There are two other interesting parameters for those who love sport boats. One is the width, at just 2.19 metres. And this is at the fenders, the widest point. While at the waterline, it is even more narrow. Olé! Well, you know, if you want to make the boat fast, you need to make it like this, long and narrow.
E sempre a proposito di sportività, vi dico che ha due step. E in effetti tutte le linee d'acqua di questo scafo sono un po'
It has two steps, and in effect, all of this hull's waterlines are like those of a racing boat. And like with all racing boats, the trim is fundamental, as is the throttle. Let's begin to ascend. Finally, I can't wait to fly. Gigi, a bit less.
Gigi è il cameraman.
Gigi is the cameraman that is here with me, hidden, but there.
La caratteristica più incredibile di questo scafo.
The most incredible characteristic of this hull is, however, is how soft it is over the waves. It is amazingly smooth, it's pleasant and never pitches. This makes sailing very comfortable, not only for the pilot, but the entire crew, including Gigi. Do you see how high the waves are? Do you see them pass? Well, good. We are sailing at a speed of 30 knots. But you don't feel any impacts. There is not even any vibration. It's solid, it's compact, it's fantastic.
Essendo molto stretta e avendo una V così profonda in virata.
Being so narrow and having such a profound V-shaped hull when turning is almost scary. See? It stays on course extremely well though. It's very precise.
E anche quando vai contro le
And
onde.
even when you go against the waves in the wrong way, that is offering the flat part of the hull instead of the V, it doesn't slam against the waves. I can't understand how it works. Now I'll give a little trim and raise the speed a bit.
Siamo a 3300 giri minuto.
We are at 3,300 revolutions per minute. I'd say that we were sailing rather well, 35 knots. Let's give it a bit more.
Un po' più di trim, un po' più di gas.
A bit more trim, a bit more gas. Ah, she takes off. Like this. Like this, it feels like we are truly racing. And in fact, we are at 50 knots, eh?
Quale sarà la massima prestazione?
What will be the maximum performance? We're looking for it. Full speed. Raise the trim.
Il mare è lontano. Sì, lontano. Siamo molto staccati dalla superficie. Siamo parecchio in alto.
The sea is far away, yes, far away. We are very detached from the surface and we are quite high. It feels like being on a flying bridge instead of such a low boat, with such a reduced freeboard. I've seen 55, 56.
Volevo provare questo modello perché lo avevo trovato interessante dal punto di vista estetico.
I wanted to try this model because I had found it interesting from an aesthetic point of view, and I was curious to know how it performed at sea. It has passed our test with full marks, and if you like, I want to add another detail. It is a niche product, and so is completely customizable.
Ad esempio, a me piacerebbe rosso. No, forse così, azzurro. Però
For example, I think I would like it red. No, maybe like this, blue. But yellow? Or maybe carbon, just like the construction. A carbon look. No, under the summer sun it would be scorching. Oh well, as far as the colours, I'm a bit undecided.